start. How the agenda of the meeting is that we'll give a brief introduction. Dr. Rini Bhatnagar will start with the introduction of Dublin Indian Students Community. Then our guest speakers welcome, and then Mr. Priyavrat and Sudhi Gupta will share the discussions and take it ahead with you. You are welcome to share your questions in the chat when we are discussing, and we'll be inviting everybody to open their videos and speak up in the questions. In mostly we'll give more time to question and answer that time. So that's the layout of for the today discussion. I think you guys can start. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Dublin Indian Student Community. We are very happy to welcome you all. So we actually are a group of students and professionals who are there living and working or studying in Ireland. Moving towards our story, so we are this Dublin Indian Student Community started in 2018. So there were a total of 5 Indian students who were studying in various universities in Ireland, and they were facing various challenges such as related to studies, searching for accommodation, looking for part-time or full-time jobs, and most importantly, how to network or get guidance from people who are currently living in Ireland. So for that purpose, we created this group. So the key objectives of our group is, the first objective is, building, promoting a talent marketplace where skilled professionals, students, or anyone who is there in Ireland can support each other and help the people who are coming from India or any other non-European nation to grow themselves. We also focus on sharing the first-hand and unbiased information regarding job search, regarding interviews, how to crack interviews, regarding studies, study pattern, universities. We just focus on giving the unbiased and first-hand information. Also, we look at connecting and uniting the students and professionals who are currently in Ireland. So overall, we look and we help people how they can develop themselves wholly. We help people in developing themselves. Like we help in an overall development of people. So next, moving to the number of people who are there with us. So we are on 3 platforms, namely WhatsApp, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Currently, like till date, we have approximately 7,000 Facebook members, and we have 3,000 members who are there with us on LinkedIn. Moving to the numbers, so you can just see on the screen that we have 7,000 followers. The followers, or the students, are from various universities, like more than 10 universities or colleges across Ireland. We have 2,000 registered members with us, 15 volunteers and stakeholders are working with us, and more than 100 recruiters and HRs are following us and helping us in improving and in promoting this community. So we will move forward, and we see that we are continuously connecting with students, with professionals, and we are conducting live events once or twice a month. We also do face-to-face meetings we have quarterly face-to-face meetings. Currently, we have done 2 face-to-face meetings, and it went very well. We also provide volunteering opportunities to people where they can enhance their skills. So we are providing volunteering opportunities in 3 domains, basically social media marketing or digital marketing, Ireland Human Resources or Recruiter Talent Marketplace, and we also have a new concept, that is Industry Connect Event Committee. So you all are welcome to join our volunteering committee and enhance your skills. We introduced e-referrals. We are providing e-referrals to only our members, the members of Dublin Indian Student Community, and we are providing referrals for various organizations such as Deloitte, Verizon, EPAM, Guidewire, IBM, Bank of Ireland. I would say majority of the big companies who are there in Ireland. So We are also, you can just look at the links and you can join us through Facebook, through blog, through YouTube. We are also on YouTube. So just don't forget to follow our YouTube channel as well and you can get all the videos of all the events which have been done, which were conducted previously on our YouTube channel. So in overall, I would say we as a team is continuously trying hard to give first-hand information through our online and face-to-face meetings in order to help and guide students or the graduates or people who are just looking for jobs. And also we also look at helping people in an overall personality development. Thank you very much. And I would now welcome our speakers and I would request our collaborators, our coordinators who will take forward from here. Thank you so much. Just stay tuned and our coordinators will start now.
Yeah, thank you, Renee, so much for giving a brief introduction about the DISC. And so, yeah, hi everyone, good afternoon. And myself, Priyabrat here. And currently, I am a master's student of National College of Ireland, and I'm doing my master's course in data analytics. And with me, Stuti is there. Yeah, Stuti, you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Suti, you're
Yeah,
on mute.
sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tuti. I am a master's student at University College Dublin. Currently, I'm doing my master's in computer science. And yeah, prior to that, I have 4 years of working experience in India. I think that's enough about us. Let's move on to our guest speakers for the day. And I think Priya would like to introduce them before we start the questions for the day.
Thank you, Stuti. Yeah. And it's now time for our welcome to our guest speakers, Mr. Rahul and Mrs. Rupal. Yeah, so Rahul, yeah, it's your ball. You can go ahead and start giving your introduction, please.
Sure, thanks, Priya, and thanks to the DISC for giving me the invitation. So I'm currently working as an assistant manager in EY Technology Consulting. Have been working there for more than 3 years now. Prior to that, I also came here to Ireland as a student. I did my master's in management consultancy from UCD Smurfit Business School. And before that, I was working in India as a project manager and worked there for 4 years after my engineering. So that more or less sums it up for myself. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Rahul. Yeah, so yeah, it's time to welcome to our guest speaker, Mrs. Rupal. Yeah, thank you, Rupal. So, Rupal, yeah, it's now your turn and your ball. So you can go ahead and then introduce yourself, please.
Hello, everyone. This is Rupal Sharma, and currently I'm working as a data scientist with CK Delta, and it's about 2.5 years I'm working with them. And I have done my master's in data analytics from Technological University Dublin, and I have completed that in around 2019. And since then, I'm working there as a data scientist. Previously, I was working in India with Capgemini and Cognizant. So that's it pretty much about me.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rupal, for thank you so much, Rupal and Rahul, both for giving your brief introduction. So yeah, it's now we will proceed with our Q&A session. That is our agenda of today's meeting, and overall audience is there. Yeah, so Stuti, we can go ahead and start your discussion. Yes.
Hi guys, before starting the Q&A section, just want to note to all our attendees, you can post your questions while the discussions are going on through the chat, okay? And we will go through the questions at the very end once the discussion is all with our guest speakers. All right, so you can take over.
Thank you, Medwin. Hi Rahul, hi Rupal. So let's start with some basic details about you. I know you already gave your introduction, but I think everyone here would like to know why you selected the particular course or college that you that you pursued, and how did it help you to get the role, to get the how did it help you to get the skills for your current role? How much was it helpful? Rahul, could you please start?
Sure. So, as I mentioned, I was actually I'm actually like a mechanical engineer. So I started working in a power plant, and then I was mainly working in power plant control systems and simulator projects for a company called Emerson Electric back in India and US. So what happened there? I was mainly working on projects which were kind of software based. Although I needed my engineering skills there in terms of the mechanical engineering equations and thermodynamics and all those things. But that was from a technical perspective. But from a business perspective, I was handling the projects. I was looking at planning. I was looking at risks and issues. I was looking at um, monitoring the plan and tracking the plan against critical milestones and scheduling and all those things. And so I was just 2 years into my work experience when I moved to US for a year, and that was like an eye opener because I got really good exposure to work with people outside of India, and got to know about their work culture, and that actually gave me a really good platform to showcase my skills and pick up more skills, more relevant skills. So after I came back, I was working. I understood that I'm not able to fully explore my potential at what I am doing because there it was more of a project engineer role and a bit of it was project management, whereas I wanted to move more towards the project management aspect of it. When I started looking at different courses outside of India, because I thought that multicultural, like working in multicultural teams or cross-cultural teams earlier in my career, whether it's with people from US or Southeast Asia or Europe, that would have given me a good edge if I went abroad and did the studies. And to be very honest, going for IIM or other management institutes in India, the amount of money that was asking for, and when I selected UCD, it was more or less the same or even less, I would say. So I thought that it's better to go for an international exposure because I really liked working back in US. So I wanted to get the European experience as well. And I was looking for different courses, and the management consultancy course really struck me. And I still keep on saying this to all other students who come to me, who come and ask me if I should select this course. The most important part, the most important aspect of the course, which really attracted me was the consulting clinics and the consulting projects the course offered. So during the first semester, we got to work with a small or medium scale enterprise. And then the second semester actually gave us the exposure to work with big consulting firms, whether it's EY, Deloitte, or Grant Thornton, PwC, or even the boutique firms like Eaton Square or Bearing Point. So that was like the USP of the course, and it didn't disappoint me because I got a project. I got to do a project with EY during my second semester, which was like a 12 weeks consulting project where I was able to coordinate with people from EY directly, getting their inputs, and that kind of set me up for the job because I then knew what kind of expectations EY or EY clients have in terms of deliverables or services that you provide. So they really guided us well, and we worked as a group. And the course also gave us an opportunity to present in front of partners and directors at EY in their offices, and we did that. So it was a success for us. It was the first year we like UCD worked with EY from that course, and they really liked us. And like in 2 days, one of the managers asked me to send my CV, and I sent the CV, got an interview scheduled, and cracked the job. So it was like that. And it wasn't that straightforward as well. I had applied for several other jobs before that in grad roles also because I was worried that I'll not be getting experience roles because I don't come from a typical IT background. I just know how the IT projects work. that's what it is. I don't know any coding or anything. So I had that disadvantage, but I kind of leveraged my IT project management skills to kind of get into that job, and that really opened up the opportunity for me. So that's how I joined EY. Yeah, I think I summed up the
I
answer.
think that's really
Yeah,
insightful. Thanks so much for that, Rahul.
thanks.
Rupal, could you please tell us a little bit about your work in college?
Yeah, so back then when I always wanted to pursue my master's from European country, but Ireland was not my first choice for sure. I was looking more for Germany, but I was specifically looking for a data scientist or something which is related to mathematics and having some of coding languages, because to be honest, I hate coding. I'm not into that much. But on the other hand, I have to learn that because I want to make my career in this particular field. So that's how I got to know about Ireland, and it has 1 year of course specifically for data science and mathematical related with few of coding skills. So that's how I ended up in Ireland after 3 years of work experience. And in India, what I was doing was more into data migration testing and automation testing. So mostly I wanted to come to into mainstream of data sciences or mainstream of databases. So that's how I selected the course. And about my job, like TU Dublin used to hire interns for small companies. So that's how I got interviewed for CK Delta. And there I was doing like that internship only was for 3 months, but they want me to work for some more time, so they increased the internship to 6 months. And after that, they kind of needed me for their data engineering and short term prediction kind of work, so they hired me full time. In my case, I approached them if they have any kind of full time opening. So uh, that's how I got job in CK Delta.
Yeah. Yeah, that was really detailed. Thank you, Rupal, for that. Okay, next, I think I'd like to know about any thesis or project that you did as a part of your course. Like everyone here would be interested in that. And also, if you did any sort of extra certifications that helped you achieve the required skills or that helped you with the job. Rupal, if you could go first this time.
Okay, so about my thesis, so I haven't done my thesis till now because the time I got the job, TU Dublin has 1.5 year of course. So either you have to do your thesis in the summer, otherwise you have to wait for another 6 months. So I got the job and I needed 1G, so I skipped my thesis. But before my thesis, I was doing it in knowing the call drop locations, or knowing the location all over the island where the possibility of call drop is more, or where any kind of telecom customer may need it to install a tower, or they need to increase their signal strength. So this was my thesis proposal, which I got interviewed for CK Delta. So that helped me a lot to get this job because their more focus was on telco domain. And my previous experience plus my thesis research, this helped me a lot to showcase that they might need me for any kind of their project, although I haven't used it that kind of skill in my
Yeah.
job right now. But yes, that helped me a lot. For certification, when I was in college, I haven't done any kind of certification, but when I am on the job right now, so I'm doing a lot of Azure and cloud related certification. Of course, that helped me a lot because first of all, if you're doing any kind of Microsoft certification, it gives a weightage to your profile, and plus people tend to trust you more. Like if you are a college pass out, they might not um, uh, have confidence on your technical skills. But when like this happens to me, I don't know, there might be another cases as well, but they'll trust your suggestions, they'll trust your pipelines, whatever data pipeline you are making and whatever suggestions you are having. So And for me, doing certification is not enough. You have to take time from your job to learn more skills, because of course you learn on the job, but you have to showcase your implementation as well, that you are capable of implementing anything which is new in the market, because they always compare you with the other people, and competition is very unique in Irish market than as compared to Indian market. The in Indian companies, there are always common things which are going. You just need to learn, come to office, 9 to 5 job, that's it. But here things are little different. You need to learn, implement, and showcase your out of the box solution which they haven't thought before. So these are, I think I got distracted a little bit, but this is kind of insight,
Yeah,
what kind
I
of
think
training
everyone
we have to do.
yes, yes. Sorry to cut you. I think everyone would be everyone would be able to learn something from your experience from that you've shared. Rahul, could you speak something about the project that you did or any extra certification if you took?
Yeah, sure. So as part of my third semester, actually, we didn't have really a thesis. We had like three kind of pathways in the third semester that a student could have taken. One was a consulting project. Now that's separate to the consulting project I talked about. That's another consulting project with another firm. So if you want to do it, you can do that. Again, in a group or single-handedly, but it won't be paid. You'll just be working with another company and doing a consulting project and preparing a report and a presentation in the end. And the other pathway was writing like a research paper, which was I think around 5,000 words or something like around that. I don't remember exactly now, but I think it was around 5,000 words. And then the third option was if you got an internship, you can do that. So what happened for myself, I had got the job during the end of my second semester already. So I didn't want to go into any internship or didn't want to do any um, consulting project. So I just did a research paper on business architecture and business analysis. But if you ask me about the consulting project that I did with EY, I would say that was more of a proper research because we worked on that for like 12 weeks, and the topic was on the psychosocial impact of RPA on organizations. So it was basically around how RPA is impacting people, like how RPA is impacting from a people point of view, as in people thinking if automation comes through, then we will lose our jobs, or what was people's opinion on that. So the research was more aligned to that, more on the softer side of things. Um, and then as part of the course, there were several other projects or research that we did all throughout, which is quite common for all other masters. But yeah, we didn't do any thesis as
Uh,
such.
would you say
Um,
these projects helped you with the current job role or any other job role that you took?
Absolutely. Like the EY project, like I mentioned, it got me the job itself because the report that we provided, the presentation that we made for the client, that actually helped us to showcase our skills, which kind of which is much better than an interview even, because once once a group of people from a company actually works with you for 12 weeks, gives inputs, and then you provide a deliverable at the end of 12 weeks, basically you know each other well, you know the style of the people in the group, you know the target audience and their expectations. So rather than having like a half an hour or 45 minutes interview where you ask situational based questions, here you see how a person works, how they are with people within the team and outside of the team. So that was really a very good exposure, I would say.
Mhm.
Um, in terms of the certifications, I would actually agree with Rupal there in terms of like just having certifications doesn't get you a job. Of course, you need to have that hands-on experience as well, or that implementation experience which she mentioned about. Just having the certification on the CV won't really like it will be like a nice to have, but it won't be like a differentiating factor. So what I did before coming for my master's, I did a Lean Six Sigma green belt back from India. Other than that, I didn't have any other certification. During my master's, I didn't do any certifications. um, After I joined EY, I did several certifications based on the roles which I was in. So I joined as a business analyst. That's why my team made me do business analyst foundation and practitioner certifications. But I was more inclined towards project management. So I did Prince 2 on my own. I'm trying to do the practitioner now. And other than that, I've done the Scrum Master, and these are very generic certifications, which are very nice to have once you land a role in a company here, because these will somehow come into play when you are applying for jobs 2 years or 3 years down the line. But yeah, we definitely need to ensure that we have some implementation experience to show, like, to support that certification. So that's what
Yeah.
it was in my
Yeah.
case.
I think that
Rahul,
would
I
be.
have a question for you.
Mhm.
In your project management role, like you don't have any kind of coding experience. So, how do you overcome that kind of thing while managing any kind of IT project? Because, as far as I understand, it's little important. So, how you overcome that kind of situations in your current role?
Well, what generally I do is I'm not a subject matter expert on coding, or, for example, I work in an SAP ISV project. It has been more than, like, it has been 2.5 years now almost. Um, I rely on the functional teams, or the technical teams, to guide me there, because I am there to support them or facilitate them to plan it, or to um, like prepare a schedule based on the estimates they provide me, or the impact analysis that they do, and wherever necessary to challenge them. As in, if you're saying a piece of work or a work package can be done in a month, um, can we reduce, like, if there's a constraint, can we reduce that to 15 days? If yes, what do you need? Is it like extra resources, extra money? We don't have time. So I look at them to provide me the solutions there. I'm just there to support them and facilitate them to deliver their work packages, rather than getting into the details. Well, initially, it's just my style of working. I try to get into the context of what I'm trying to do. So that was very difficult initially, because I was trying to understand everything that was being talked about in meetings. But then I understood that we cannot do that. We need to take a step back and look at the bigger picture rather than going into the details. So that's what I started doing. And what happens, like, when you are attending meetings, when you are working on a client project for quite some time, just through listening to things, just being a silent spectator also often helps you to get that knowledge in. You may not necessarily apply that knowledge anywhere, but you will have that knowledge. So I know about environments now. I know about the entire software development life cycle now, and I know about all the intricacies involved in there. If you show me a functional specification and ask me what it means, I won't be able to say.
That's good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I think that was a really good question, Rupal, that even we wanted to know. Next, I think I'd like to pass the baton to Priya and he can continue asking questions.
Yeah, thank you, Stuti. Yeah. So, yeah, come down to my part. So, yeah, I just would like to go for Mrs. Rupal. So, Rupal, just since, like, many of the students across the globe comes to Ireland to do the masters in data analytics and data science. So, most of the students who come to Ireland to do the masters in data science and data analytics, if you would have the confusion of what is really a data science, data analytics, and data engineer. So just hence we just wanted to learn from you what are like these concepts of data analytics, data science, and data engineer, so that our like audience will get clarity on these ideas?
Cool. So first of all, I'll just give you a one-liner. A data engineer is a person who will get you the data, who will clean the data for you and manage the pipeline of everything related to data. Data analytics, a person who will just provide you with the descriptive analysis that will tell you what is the outcome of data and what this data speaks about. And data scientist, basically a data modeler or a person who will create a deep learning linear regression model to tell the business that what can be done with this particular kind of data. And to be honest about my experience, I'm working as a data scientist, but I'm more inclined to a data engineer because most of the time goes in cleaning and managing the data. And here in CK Delta, my work revolves around all the three roles. So my responsibility is to get what business needed, what kind of data they will be needed, and when it comes to business, they are always unclear about what they want. So basically it's my or it's the company's responsibility to tell them, okay, you might want this kind of work or you might want this kind of data, and create a short term prediction, short term analysis that this is how your product might look like. So that comes under data analytics. The researching and data pipelining, when I'm saying, it's not like that you just get the data in CSV and you put it into model and give some prediction. Data pipelining, I'm telling in terms of real time data pipelining. As soon as a data arrives, say today the number of COVID cases are some XYZ. So always a client want that data by morning 8 o'clock. So how that particular process can be automated and how that data can be converted, what are null values in the data, how to overcome that kind of things, and how that particular data can go into the model. That model will be only designed by a data scientist. They might not know much of the business. In my case, they don't know much of the business, but in most of the cases data scientists know. They know what kind of data they want, what kind of parameter they want, what kind of source is there. So basically, if you say data scientist can do it all, no. Right now in Ireland, in whatever companies I'm interviewing, they want everything in one person. They want a data analytics, they want a data engineer, and then they want data scientist as well. So this is how it does not differ from the name itself, but yes, they want a, say a data engineer is more into a Python thing, a data scientist is more into a data modeling thing or creation of a predictive model, and data analytics is more into a descriptive analysis of same type of data. So this is how I'll differentiate all the three terms.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Rupal. So, Rupal, since like as you said, in the three areas, the companies are looking for from the candidates. So, when the candidates are looking for a data analytics role, so what are the prerequisites they should learn to land in a job for a data analytics role or data scientist role? Yeah, if you can just guide us on that.
I would say Python is must from technical perspective, because right now there is a lot of Python things are going on in the market. Secondly, more learning about cloud, that how you can manage your data on cloud and how you can fetch the data from a cloud pipeline, how you can access the data, because this is where I see data analytics lack in the process. Plus, if you want to go more into business or product side of thing, Tableau is, I would suggest Power BI or Tableau is more, if you are more into business and visualization thing. If you want to go into technical side of data analytics, because I work in B2B, like business to business domain, so in that type of thing, most of the terms are not understandable by business, so they know a dashboard or something which they just look and understand. without seeing the technical background of it. But of course, Tableau also required a major cloud database understanding. So
Okay.
Python Cloud and Tableau for data analytics.
Right. So since we have like many candidates are looking for the jobs in the market in the field of data analytics or data science, and as you like know, many of the students who come for Ireland for the master's degree and they do not have the coding background. So would you like suggest anything like if somebody doesn't have any coding background, how would they cope up in the market in the field of data analytics?
I think in data analytics, it might be little difficult right now because it required some of the coding skills. Like
Okay.
I'm not 100% into coding, but some of the coding skills are necessary because always Tableau, and you cannot rely on the tools like Tableau or Power BI. So
Okay.
you must learn, not, or at least SQL, so that you can make that performance better. Suppose you have developed a Tableau dashboard without any coding skills, and that dashboard itself taking half an hour to load. So what business will take that kind of dashboard? It is not useful for business, any kind of business. So for that particular purpose, for the robust solution to the client or to the company, you need to have some kind of solution, which I think it's the only way to learn coding and make your solutions robust. And I think Rahul would tell how to cope up with not knowing coding and be a good guy in IT.
Yeah. So yeah, the next ball then to Rahul. So Rahul, would you mind to?
Just sorry to just interrupt it, and just to next question. Sorry for
Yeah.
interruption. Just asking everybody, we have some emojis. We'll appreciate if you can share your motivations, and uh, show your appreciations, or some clappings, thumbs up. So it gives a emotional fact. Yes, we are putting everybody efforts. People are taking time to explain, answer questions. So I'll appreciate and wait for 2 minutes. And Akshay, can you send the feedback form? Because we don't want one ways, because this takes so much time to on a Sunday specifically. Please show your appreciations. Even some of are even out of India, or not all are Indians, but please show your appreciation, I request. That is our first gratitude, showing the gratitude. And Akshay, if you can share the feedback form, we'll appreciate everybody to take time, because we want always improving. And we are trying to why this topic comes, because a lot of people are looking for project management, technology consulting, data science, data analysis. So we'll appreciate more people to take participation and share questions, and we will move ahead with Priya questions. Thanks, everybody.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So yeah. Also the next like we are the thinking. Let's say for example, as you explained us. Okay. The data engineers are like need to do the data pipelining and data cleaning and for the data analyst or data scientist. So would you like suggest us do the data engineers should be knowing about the data governance, since like the European countries we have the data governance policy being applied. So do the data engineers or the data analyst should know about the data governance and should care about that?
Yes, definitely yes. Because CK Delta is very small. I don't know about the big firms, how they manage here, but CK Delta is very small firm. So if I'm taking any kind of open data, it should be useful for the company ethically as well. I would like to share one of the incident when I was responsible for getting a flight data. So there is a company called Open Sky. They provide flight data, like how many number of flights are there in the European region, from which to which place they are going, and they provide all kind of this types of data. But that data is only for research purpose. If any student want to use, they can use. Otherwise, any company can use only 1 year of data, and we need a history of data. So when we have submitted our analysis to client that yes, we can have this kind of product and we are using this kind of data, but ultimately we are not ethically authorized to use that particular data. If we use also, nobody might know, or it's a small company, or nobody might point it out. But yes, it's our responsibility to have it proper things on place before using any kind of data, and look for the alternatives. If you are not ethically authorized, if you can buy it, pay the company that thing, like in my role it comes as my responsibility, because there is no one in the company who will understand more about GDPR. So yes.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much, Rupal, for your insights, and it really helped for our audience to know about your knowledge on the data science and data analytics. Yeah. So yeah, I'll pass on the ball to Stuti. Yeah.
Thank you, Priya. Next, I would like to know a little bit more from Rahul about his role. So, suppose Rahul, someone is looking to apply for a technology consultant role or a project management role. So, what would you say are the skills that person should have before applying? And like, what sort of roles should he be applying for, and things like that?
Okay, so in terms of technology consulting or technology consultant as such, that's a very broad job
Yeah.
title. So I would even put a data analyst or a cloud person or a solution architect. Like all these roles fall under technology consulting. Um, Mine specifically fall under the technology project management side of things specifically. So the first thing one would need to kind of decide is if a person is applying for a role in technology consulting, even if someone goes and tries to see the job roles, there isn't anything as such as technology consultant. There's no role like that, except if you are going for grad roles, which is again a different thing altogether. So if you're going for experienced hire roles, you won't find any job title as technology consultant. So you'll find several different roles like PMO analyst or project manager or business analyst, senior business analyst, solution architect, or Java developer, or we also have a Microsoft services teams now, so they might hire people with Azure background. So you will first need to see what skills you currently have, what is your previous experience, and try to look at these different roles and see where you align very well first, I would say. Now, I know a lot of people say this, that I want to move into a different career pathway. I have been doing this. I want to do this. Now, obviously, that is one of the essences of coming here, trying to change career path. But what I suggest generally, like if you are moving into bigger firms, it's often easy for you if you kind of align your CV and you get into a role. Um, then it's much easier to switch to other teams within the company or within technology consulting as a practice. And consulting in itself, you might be hired in some position, you will be working in some other role altogether. Like I said, I was hired as a business analyst. I never worked on any project as a business analyst yet. I've been doing project management. I sit in the business analyst team within EY. So that's what it is. So first thing is align your CV, look at your current experience, look at keywords in the roles that you have. So for project management, even IT project management, or just like business consulting project management, you need to be very, very focused on processes. As in, whenever you are even appearing for interviews, rather than focusing on the solution, you need to answer more from a process point of view, as in what kind of processes you used to follow, or what kind of processes you introduced in your previous role, what kind of processes uh, you enhanced in your previous role. And that kind of helps you to get a foot in the door, because they know that you are focused on processes, you know about project management methodologies or frameworks, and that gives you that break. And I would definitely suggest, if anyone is going for project management roles, whether it's IT project management or general project management roles, You should, like, I know it doesn't matter as such if you have the certification or not, but it's for your own good itself. In UK and Ireland specifically, Prince 2 is very critical, as in lot of projects, lot of companies follow the Prince 2 methodology. So you should definitely go for Prince 2 certification and have that on your CV and try to apply those concepts when you are talking in interviews. And just so that people know, you can get in touch with me separately as well. And maybe it's a good point for you in case you don't know. The Irish E-College provides Prince 2 certification for free. So whether you are a student, whether you are a professional, you can go to the Irish E-College website and you can apply for that. You will get the username and password in 2 days. You get a free, like you get a course which is not as great, but then at the end of it you get a €250 voucher to apply to basically sit for that exam and clear it, which is a which is a very good thing, because being a student you don't want to spend any money. So I would say if you're looking for project management roles, definitely go for Prince 2 Foundation. It's free, so why not go for it? And that's what I did as well. I didn't go through my company, I just did it on my own, and now my company is paying for the practitioner. So once you do that certification, it becomes very clear in terms of processes. It doesn't talk about how you should do it. It just says what are the things you need to do. So that's very crucial when you are answering questions. And if you're going to IT project management roles, definitely look into how the software development life cycle works. That needs to be known. Whether you are going for any uh, technology consulting role, you need to know how the software development life cycle works, how the test life cycle works, what are software environments. You need to know about these. Um, Even if you haven't worked on that before, these are very common things which are available on the internet very easily. You just need to know all those things. And what happens sometimes, your experience might not be exactly same as you have been asked for, but you will have to try to align your previous experience into the role that you are applying for. As in, for example, the projects which I used to handle during, like, before my masters in Emerson as a project manager, it it had a different testing life cycle, but I knew if I kind of broke it into the different cycles that we had, they somehow aligned to the various testing phases that one has in the typical software development life cycle. So if you can kind of align that experience and even change or customize your CV, or customize what you are saying to align with that, that really helps. Like, we didn't have anything called regression testing in our test methodology when I was working previously back in India. But while I was answering questions in interviews, I kind of said that I did regression testing, because they were not calling it regression testing, but they were essentially doing the same thing. So that's how you need to kind of convey that message, and you will only be able to convey it if you know the processes and the things which goes on in the job. So that's my biggest suggestion I would give. And whatever role you are interviewing for, try to present your own experience from that lens. So always try to do that. I wouldn't say like the common things, give answer in star methodology and all those things you already know. So just from a more technical point of view, you need to present your answers in that way. If you are doing it for business analysis roles, then it would have been in a similar way. Just try to answer it and change things in that way, because the consulting firms also sell it to clients in the same way. They will sell a business analyst to a client as a project manager. They will sell a project manager to a client as a business analyst if needed.
Thank you, Rahul. I think that was really detailed, and we are all glad that you could share all this from your experience. Definitely, everyone would be able to learn something from it. I think, yeah, we are almost done with time, so we can start with the audience and ask them. You guys can open, everyone in the audience can open your cameras and ask any questions if you have, or you can put them in the chat if you want.
Rahul, I have one question for you. Regarding the technical project management role, so if say I am more into technical like I had a lot of technical background, and I'm interviewing for a TPM role in any of the big four companies. So that time I faced a lot of issue that how much weightage I should give to my technical thing in that particular interview, and how much weightage I should give them as a management perspective. Because here in my current role and in my previous role, it's like I'm working in the technical, but at the same time I'm managing a project as well. I'm in continuously touch with the business. I'm doing all the kind of presentation, at least for this my current job. So how to showcase as a technical person that you are capable of managing a project, but you are very good in technical as well.
I think the main thing that you need to kind of have in all your answers to show the business side of things or the management side of things is your stakeholder management capabilities. Uh, so even if you are answering or trying to address the question where it is trying to judge you from a technical point of view, uh, show it in a situation, make a story, or like not make a story, like as in your actual life experience. Show it in a way where you kind of dealt with different people, and how you got that solution through. For example, maybe you had to make a change in a process, or maybe you had to make a change in a solution, and you had to go get 3 or 4 different people on board with that solution through a presentation, for example. So when you are answering that question, like do it in the proper storytelling approach where you involve those people in the answer that you are giving, and how you kind of broke the wall, or how you kind of managed those people, or how you kind of overcame the resistance to get that solution in, for example. Now the solution side of things, you have already said that you have done that technically, for example. And whenever you are saying that I have been able to push that solution through with the client or with the client stakeholders, that automatically kind of gets you 70 or 80% of the points as a manager, or as a business kind of person, and not only the technical kind of person. Because in consulting, for example, stakeholder management is key. Even if you are not too strong technically, or even if you are very strong technically, that's like a very good thing to have. But you need to speak both the languages. You cannot be too technical, you cannot be too business oriented as well. So you need to keep that balance, and you have that balance. So you need to also weave these characters in your answers to show how you made that impact on the people side of things.
Thanks,
Okay.
Rahul. Thanks, Rupal. I think quick time passed away, sir, around 1 hour now. So
Yes.
that's a lovely
Guys, if
discussion and
anyone
quite
has
good
a
question. Yeah, please, Madwin, go ahead.
yeah, like if anyone has questions or doubts, they can just pop up the camera and open the mic and ask right away. Or in the meantime, uh, I'll just there are a few questions on the chat, so I'll just go through the first one here, which I have. So there's a question here: does anyone have any experience with non-tech or non-consulting roles, like maybe business administration or tech sales? This question was from Parjanya Sharma, and he wanted to know because he's doing a master's in Ireland right now, business masters, and want to get into a tech sales or business development role where he can start the role actually.
Oh, I can answer this question if somebody wants.
Yeah, like
You guys want to, Rahul and Rupal, you want to answer this, or should I attempt?
I would say go
Yes.
ahead.
So, sure.
Yeah.
See, I
No
was
idea.
involved in.
that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm Amit. Sorry, I could not open my video currently. This laptop has a little bit problem. But quick background, I'm one of the co-founders of DISC. We call it Dublin Indian Student Community. I have pre-sale experience in US. So if you want to get a sales experience primarily in Ireland for technology, for example, SaaS software selling, you need to start any solutions which are technical oriented. And customer service is the main first footing point should be customer service roles. Directly, you will not be given a job of sales if you don't have prior sales experience in software. So better start with customer support. A lot of companies, e-commerce companies, and where technology they are sorting, and that will be giving you a foot ahead. But there are some free courses on Salesforce. If you learn that, will be give you so much edge to sell the software in the Ireland market, and it is very valued because Salesforce, everybody knows, is a global company. So I'll suggest go for that. Hope it answers your question. Please speak up, yes, no, anything. So at least we are aware we are addressing your answer, yes and no. Or we are
Yeah,
not.
yeah, makes sense. The thing is, I do have sales experience before, but it is mostly B2C sales experience, like for nonprofits, and not a software sales experience. But sure, what you said makes sense. So you're talking about registering for maybe some courses on Salesforce. But when you say that I need experience, it's like that's again the same circle, yeah. So they don't give you sales roles without sales experience, but you can't get sales experience without getting into a sales role. So how do you
No,
break
see,
that?
you can get a job in Wayfair company. A lot of Indians are working, to be very frank, and give you a solution. They take a lot of people in sales or e-commerce, that is B2C. And there are a lot of other .com companies where you can get that right role. And after 6 months, they will take you permanently. In Salesforce, you have a sales course specifically. Now, there are a lot of courses which are technical. It is how to sell the software of the Salesforce. That will teach you guidance, a lot of things for the interview, and it will help you a lot. Just have a look. I'll try to pop up a message in the chat. Thanks for that.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you, Amit.
Matt, you can take it.
Yes, and there's a question here. I think both of you can, like Rupal, which cloud certification is more in demand, like AWS or Azure?
Both are in demand equally, and it's totally depend on you which you are more comfortable with, because ultimately it's just a cloud technology with two different vendors. So I mostly work with Azure, so I would say for me Azure is good go, and AWS not at all bad, it is also very good. But if you are a data engineer, you might need to learn both the things, Azure and AWS. And for my job profile, like I'm inclining more towards data engineering because I like that part, and data science somehow feels like it does not come to me in a right way. So for that, I'm doing the certification like database management related, and more into SQL, Python, and data pipelining as a database architect. So there are a lot of certification on Azure page, so you can just select your role which you want to select, and they'll suggest the certification AZ900, DP100, DP900. So these are all good certification. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, thank you. That's a great insight there. Like even myself is from to a data analytics role now, and good to know there are a few assured certifications I can also do from there. And Rahul, in the same sense, like in the technology consulting areas, like is there any other like certifications which we can continue? Like say if I'm from a tech background and I want to move into the say tech consulting or project management roles, is there any certifications or anything which I can add upon my CV which will give me a better chance on the job roles?
I think definitely cloud, like Rupal mentioned.
Cloud. Oh, okay.
That's one of the
Mhm.
emerging areas. Um, and like for example, I said like in EY Tech Consulting, there is a specifically dedicated team for Microsoft services, where they are hiring a lot of Azure engineers. So I even feel that Azure might have a slight edge on AWS in terms of the Irish job market. So I would say definitely go for the Azure certifications or like other Microsoft services certifications in the Microsoft website. I think there's like a discounted price for students there to do that.
Yes,
So
true.
Students
yeah.
and I think they have something called the trainings, virtual training. If you attend one of the virtual trainings, you get to take those exams for free or some discounted prices on there. So yeah, that's a good one. And I do think like Azure has more market on the island because where I work as a data analyst on cyber risk aware, we have a lot of clients and most of our clients are like based on working with Azure itself. they'll be using
There
like
is
the
a
Microsoft.
reason behind that Azure is comparatively cheaper on saving your data and making your data lakes, whereas AWS is little bit
Yes.
expensive. Also, services wise, AWS does not support as much Azure, like a Microsoft services will support, and they'll provide lot of freebies to the companies. Like they just give you 1 year of free services if you are
Yeah.
using Azure or say Databricks. So that's a win-win situation for Azure to have a hold in Irish market and European market.
Yes, perfect. Thank you. And just there's another question regarding the colleges. Do you think or like whether selecting a college is important for the role, like say UCD, NCI, or Trinity? If you are doing a particular course, say even the management course or a data analytics course from a particular college, will it affect your career growth, or like will that be an advantage over interview? Is there anything like that which you have felt or experienced?
For me, no. Like once you get interviewed, there is a less probability of how you got that interview. But when it comes to internship, of course, college plays a role. Because in my case, I got an internship through TU Dublin. If I was not in TU Dublin, I might not get that internship and I might not get that job.
Yeah.
So there are
Is
both things.
Mhm. Okay. Perfect. And
Yeah.
this internship you mentioned, that was actually as a part of like from the college organized or helped you get that internship. Is it something that like is there a job postings or internships board where the students can refer and apply for those? Is it something like that?
Actually, my regional director of CK Delta, when he established the company in Ireland, he was passed out from TU Dublin. So he has good
Yeah.
contacts with the
Uh,
teachers and
it-
professors. So he just mailed them that we want two interns. So TU Dublin, they took our CVs and they submitted it to CK Delta, and around 15 people got interviewed for the internship position. But I think nowadays they are not hiring any kind of interns for CK Delta. So
okay.
that's from the TU Dublin perspective.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
think we have a lot of questions. Anybody wants to open their mic and cameras, speak, because we'll appreciate that, because we quickly take these questions. We are already 1 hour up. It's very good. It's very engaging, Rahul and Rupal. So people are waiting and listening to your replies. I think we have a lot of them question. Anybody wants to speak up? Please open your camera and speaker. We invite you. Not we just talking. It's a two-way communication. So yes, pretty much we are waiting for you to speak up. Otherwise, Medvin will continue asking those questions which are in the chat. So Medvin, you can start. I think people are shying up. I just changed my laptop, so now it's visible. I am. So
I have one question for Rahul.
sure, sure.
Rahul, talking about the project management, I have the same situation as Rupal is going through. Like when I'm working as a project engineer connected with the project manager, so like what I am thinking to, like start working on the project management end as well, like getting some sort of help out or some sort of, like documentation part during the projects which I'm going through. And then later on, when I'm quite confident to go directly with the role, and I do have a certification as well with Prince too. So what do you think? Like, what will be the approach? How should be the approach? Sorry.
Yeah, I would say first of all, do you have like I'm sure the project in which you are working on has a project manager, like a
Yes,
full
yes,
time.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
I
so what
currently
I would
work with the
say is
documentation.
definitely get in touch with that person and
Yeah.
try to get some of his workload off him. That's the best thing to do, I would say. As in, just volunteer and say, I would like to help you and stuff. So in that way, what will happen, you will be able to do some of his work,
Hmm.
which are core project management activities, and he will be able to support you as well. That would be a safe environment. So that would help you to gain that experience, and get like hands-on experience basically, and you'll be able to speak about that in your interviews as well if need.
Okay, okay. Can try. I
Thank
actually
you.
tried that once, but that it didn't work out. Like so foolproof. So let's just try to
Yeah,
for
you
some
you
time.
you might have to keep poking, and otherwise what I will suggest is try to identify a gap somewhere and provide your own perspective or make your own process or something, and then go to your project manager and show that, okay, I felt that there is a gap here, and I felt that maybe we can address this gap through this solution or through this process. What do you think about it? And that kind of gets you the buy-in that you are actually seriously interested in it, and you do have the basic skills to start helping him or her.
Mhm.
So I'd say that that might be another way to do it, because I'm sure you'll find plenty of areas in your project where the client is not happy or where you need to improve. There is always that scope, and try to take it on as a personal project, as in to improve that process, and then go to your project manager and say that I have identified this and I think we can do it this way. So that kind of like that kind of makes him get the confidence on you that you have that particular skill.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Rahul, and thank you, Ankit. We are almost over 1 hour there. I will have this last question, and we can conclude our today's section here. Okay, so this is like a common question for both Rahul and Rupal. If you could help us answer, so it's a very common question. How do you network for while you are having your job search, like whether you connected with more recruiters or you connected with someone employees who are working previously over there or like currently working on different companies, or did you get any type of mentorships or guidance? How did you have your like how was your experience on job search? So,
Do you want to go ahead, Rahul, for this?
Sure. So there are two aspects to it from my personal point of view. First one was UCD itself was a very good university in terms of providing networking opportunities. So and that kind of has, like, I don't know, maybe the other colleges or universities do that as well. Um, in our course, at least, we got to go to the PwC offices. We had like a PwC case study competition, then different various career events throughout the year, guest speakers from various big organizations. So these were really good opportunities to kind of get to know people from these firms or get to know how they work and all these. Um, then another one I would say is what you are already doing. During my time, it wasn't there. For example, the Dublin Indian Students Community. What I used to do is our immediate network would be us, like Indians in Ireland or in Dublin. So you would see a lot of people in good roles in good companies already settled. Try to leverage that network at first. See, even if it's a Diwali event, even if it's a Durga Puja event, go to those, meet new people. You don't have to talk to them about jobs or anything, but get to know them, add them on Facebook or LinkedIn, and then keep that connection there. So if there is an opportunity that is arising in one of their companies, you can at least reach out to them. You at least have a close knit network in Ireland. So I would say definitely us as a community is your first network to reach out to, besides the opportunities that your colleges provide.
I think
Yeah,
thanks for
for
that.
me as well, the same thing. Like, you need to connect to people, and for me as a student, networking does not help me to get the job. It's my college who helped me to get the job. But after I joined the company, now my managers who are into different companies, they sometimes they approaches you that we have an opening. Are you interested? So make the connection in your workplace plus the people you know who might guide you for your career. So that's it.
thank you, Rupal, and thank you, Rahul, for this.
I think we have a very interesting question here. And might be valid for everyone, and I think we can take it last because so many. So I'm a non-IT graduate. I'm in law field. Just want to know people like you or IT graduates, always in front of computers, right? Everybody agrees. So in long term, do you think it is a good for health, eyes, neck, brain? Kindly mind include. What is that? Including mind. Do you will affect your family relationship? What is your opinion? So this is a very good question because we are not only talking about job, but it's health related. So I will appreciate guest speakers to give their insights. Anybody can give, but as you are the guest speaker, will like your opinion on this. So working on computers, how it did affects your relationship and on your mental health, sort of. That's the overall summary. What do you guys feel both?
For me, it affected me a lot because I'm kind of a talkative person. I like to meet people. I like to be around people. So it affected me a lot. Health wise, also, I gained around 10 kgs in 2 years, which never happened before. So, yes, I joined a gym. I tried to go out as much as possible in lunch. I make sure I am taking an hour of lunch break. So, that of course that comes with your own discipline. Nobody can come here and tell me that you have to take care of your health, you have to take care of your food. It's at the end it's me who is doing. So you have to take discipline if you are working from home, and I think it's gonna be there for another 1 year with the new variant coming. So make sure have discipline some like in your life and try to meet people anywhere you can.
Yeah. And Rahul, what are your thoughts on this? As mostly we are working from home and IT field is also, back of the laptop, front of
Um,
laptop.
I think computers and laptops are not only limited to IT, as we know. Um, even even if you are working as a lawyer, you would still be working on your laptop, maybe less than IT professionals. But I think we need to make it very clear about till what time we want to work every day. Just because we are working from home doesn't mean we'll keep on working till we get some stuff done. I am guilty of that because I know at times I'm like, okay, I'm getting this work. I want to finish this work before I log off, and that might not have happened if I was working in an office environment. So that discipline definitely needs to be there. We need to take regular breaks, and the flexibility that these organizations offer here in Ireland or in the Western countries specifically, that they only care about the end deliverable that you are providing. They don't care if you are taking a 15 minutes break now or a 1 hour break then. So as long as you are getting your work done on time, you don't need to like sit in front of the laptop for the entire while. You need to take care of your mental health, your physical health, and at the end of the day, you need to understand that work needs to fit within your life and not vice versa. So work is just a part of your life. So whether it's in IT or non-IT fields, you need to take care of yourself first.
Well summarized. Thanks, Rahul. And I think there's a one question, I don't know its answer. Medwin, this is answered. Pariyajana Sana. Does anyone, if this question was answered or no?
That was the first question which I asked
Okay.
about.
So just check any questions because guys, we have just 10 minutes over, but we want to cover your questions because everybody has given so much time and efforts. Thanks for coming here. And we got very good feedback. Thanks for it. And we'll appreciate some emojis again before we conclude. And I'm a big fan of emojis. I'm putting in all my softwares which I'm building to have some, part of human element also. I think Sati Chervak, if I pronounced it wrong, right? SAP has also okay. That's thanks for that. We'll connect Ed and we'll take your expertise. We'll plan some guest lectures on those areas also. Very well. Thanks. Very informative. Yes, we can fill the feedback form. I think Ankit and Akshay are coordinating the chats, and I will thanks first of our guest speakers for giving time today. It's more than an hour. Been chasing everybody and working together as a team. And I think especially our volunteers, which are around, most probably, for this event, 10 plus volunteers were active very, and I would like to appreciate and Stuti and Priya and Medvin primarily, they are leading the, on the front. And thanks everybody. Team back, we have Ankit, Rini has given a very good introduction about DISC, and everybody, please come open the videos. We see who are there. So it's not only, just job market and all that. Physically, we should know each other, who we are, where we are sitting, because everybody's in Ireland. If you are in India also, say hello, hi. So we are just concluding, trying to show some gratitude and thanks to everybody on connecting on a Sunday where we want to sleep and rest. So primarily we are taking time, and I'm waiting for everybody to fill up the feedback form. And any words if you want to say, Rupal and Rahul, you are welcome as a concluding remarks.
No, first of all, really, thank you for the opportunity to speak. And definitely, anyone on the call, feel free to connect on LinkedIn and reach out for a referral at EY if you see any job that suits you, and we'll be happy to refer and provide any kind of guidance if necessary. And yeah, it was a really good event, really good organized event, and happy to reach out to everyone.
Sure. Thanks a lot, Rupal. Any
Thank
concluding remarks from you? I think feedback form is there, Ankit, right? You have shared the feedback. Ankit, can you
Yes, I've
share a
shared the.
feedback form?
Yeah,
Guys,
sure, sure.
please give the feedback. We are waiting for the feedback, and we'll make. Okay. I think some voice is coming. Anybody wants to ask any question, or we are done? Rupal, you want to conclude and say something?
Thank you, everyone. So I really like for this. I really like this event, and it's good to have these many people around here. And just feel free to ask any question if you have any doubt about the technology, what you want to learn, and what should be the right way to approach towards any kind of career thing. I would like to. I would be happy to share my experience. And thank you, everyone.
Sure, thanks, guys. And we'll
Thank you,
post
Rupal.
in
Thank
our
you, Rahul.
YouTube channel this video after the event will with some of, and you guys are welcome to have a look. And thanks everybody. Thanks,
I think
Rupal.
just a last note. I think since we are showing our gratitude to everyone, I think as a team, we'd like to thank Amit for keeping us all motivated to help us organize these events. And I hope we have many more of these events in future.
Sure, sure. Thanks, Rahul. Bye-bye. Bye,
Thank you,
everybody.
everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone. Bye-bye.
weekend. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.